One of the men behind Houston's mass murders of 28 boys in the 1970s is up for parole.
Yeah, tomorrow, the last surviving parents of one of the victims will continue the fight to keep David Brooks behind bars. Grace White live in Pasadena with how they're hoping a new law will help them. Grace.
It's hard to believe, but convicted killers can be up for parole every 3 years. Now there's a new law that could make that longer, but the kicker, parole boards still have the final say.
It all comes flooding back, and it's like it was yesterday again.
For this mom and dad, no matter how much time passes, they can't talk about their young son without reliving the pain.
We felt as though he shouldn't have been the last one.
13-year-old Stanton Dramala was the last victim of serial killer Dean Corll, known as the Candyman. It was 1973, and these parents will never forget his last words.
He says, "Mom, I want to go ride my bike for a little while. I'll be right back. I won't be gone long."
Corll was killed by accomplice Elmer Wayne Henley. Then Henley and David Owen Brooks, another accomplice, went to prison. And every 3 years since, this family has had to fight their paroles.
A serial killer and being eligible for parole are just oxymoronic terms, first of all, to begin with.
In 2015, the case was the driving force behind a new law in Texas, a law that gives parole boards the authority to push back parole hearings to up to 10 years. In fact, the first person to get the setback was Henley. He spoke to KHOU last year from prison.
When people ask me about the crimes, most of what they recite, this is true, are Dean Corll's crimes, not mine. I was a boy who was caught.
Elmer Wayne Henley should be, first of all, lucky he breathes air. In any day and age, timing is everything. More than likely, he would have been given the death penalty, as well as David Brooks.
But even with the new law, the parole board still gets to decide. Will it be just 3 years or as many as 10? This mom says, just imagine if it was your son.
We want them to understand how difficult it is for the families that are left behind to go through this so often. I mean, have a heart.
Surprisingly, this new law is rarely used. Andy Kahn tells us less than 2% of eligible offenders actually get those 10 years. Obviously, this family hoping for a better outcome tomorrow morning. Mia, back to you.
All right, Grace White, thanks so much.